This meeting of the Summit County Board of Elections is called to order. First item in the agenda is the approval of the bills. Is there a motion to approve those?
So moved.
Second.
Any debate on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The motion is adopted without dissent. Mr. Williams abstaining?
Yes, sir.
Next item is the approval of the payroll for the period May 4th through May 17th, full-time, part-time, and overtime. Is there a motion to approve the payroll?
So moved.
Second.
Any debate on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The motion is adopted without dissent. The next item is the adoption of the minutes. We have two sets, May 22nd and May 29th. I'll take them separately. May 22nd, everybody except Mr. Williams was present. Is there a motion to adopt those minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Any debate on the motion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. The motion is adopted without dissent. And then next is the May 29th minutes at which all members, the meeting at which all members were present. Is there a motion to adopt those minutes?
Well,
No, I'm sorry.
constantly overlook me.
Well, I was overlooking your absence, actually.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
To me, you're just kind of omnipresent
Yeah.
between this board and the library board.
God, right, no,
I'm just not used to you not being here.
right.
A motion to adopt from Mr. Williams. Is there a second?
Second.
Any debate on the motion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. The motion is adopted without dissent. The next item is the certification of the audit of the May 5th, the post-election audit of the May 5th election. Pete, do you want to summarize?
Okay. By statute, we're required before a gubernatorial election and certain other elections to submit our election administration plan. This one is fundamentally the same as our prior one. There were some adaptations made to adapt certain processes to the current facility as opposed to Grant Street. Editing, word choice changes, and handling minor changes in process that have happened since then. But fundamentally, there's no real substantive change from prior editions.
So
Right.
that's on number 5,
Yeah.
EAP, but on number 4, the audit, is there a
Oh,
summary?
sorry. In terms of the audit, the results came out exactly as they were supposed to.
So there were no discrepancies
Correct.
between the audit and the official canvas?
Yes.
Excellent. Is there a motion to certify the post-election audit?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second?
Any debate on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The motion is adopted without dissent. I'm going to pass this around for signatures.
And I will move the adoption of the proposed election administration plan.
Second.
Okay. Were you finished with your summary?
Yes.
Okay. Any debate on the adoption of the EAP? All in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion is adopted without dissent. And I will pass this around for signature. Next item on the agenda, thank you. On the agenda is IT surplus.
Behind tab 6, you will find a large number of lines with brand names, serial numbers, etc., of equipment that is no longer necessary, mostly because it's obsolete. And we're looking for permission to take this through the county's surplus process.
So with the approval of this list, we're giving the equipment back to the county, who will then dispose of it?
That's correct. Dispose of it or auction it, do whatever they can to through their processes.
And was there any equipment on here that needed to be wiped clean of elections administration information?
Actually, I would ask Kevin, we did all the wiping that we needed to do on this, correct? Yes.
What's the question?
So on the equipment that we're surplusing, that's proposed to be surplus, any elections administration information was deleted? So we're giving back equipment that is void of any
Well,
elections?
the data on the hard drives is still there, but it's going to be pulverized by the disk destruction.
Oh, this is a proposal to destroy the equipment, not to surplus to the county for sale.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure which document we have in front of you. Is this the destruction of the hard drives or destruction of,
This
or
looks like
surplus of?
storage devices.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Although well, no, so far it looks entirely like storage devices.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, no, there are some tabulation computers,
Yes.
but
List.
This appears to be tabulation drives, tabulation computers, other equipment from the tabulation system, as well as all of the drives that the board has accumulated since we went digital.
since we went to digital,
Yes.
that's a
Yep.
long time ago.
So there's a lot to destroy and to receive a certificate of destruction.
So these are to be destroyed
Yes.
physically, so that once they're destroyed, there will be no data recoverable from them.
Correct.
I'll move to approve the IT surplus list for destruction.
Second.
Any debate on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The motion is adopted without dissent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Other business.
Okay, we would like to ask the board to permit the offices to close for a staff training day on Thursday, June 18th from noon to 4 p.m. There should be a flyer attached to the large folder at the top of it. Basically, this is going to involve certain security training. It would be more feasible if we're not in operation.
Building security?
Yes, physical security.
Move the approval of the closure of the board on June 18th from noon to 4 p.m.
Is there a second? Any debate on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The motion is adopted without dissent.
Okay, next I would like to ask the Assistant Director to come up to present on a few registration anomalies.
All right. The
Good
first,
afternoon.
Good afternoon. The first one on top of you is that Cassandra Patterson we brought up to you in a previous meeting. We called her, voicemail's full, never returned anything. This is the one that looked like she registered when she was under 18.
How old is she now?
We're not sure. It depends on what year she actually was born in.
And what's the registration status for her right now?
Right now, technically still active.
So you're seeking a motion to cancel or set it for a hearing, or?
You asked us to call her to get her ID down here. She never did. There was talks of subpoenaing her to bring down the ID, possibly hold a hearing, so.
Yeah, we can't just cancel. We need
Right, probably need a hearing.
Yeah, I think,
Well, I'll move to set this for a hearing and issue what subpoenas?
well, we need to subpoena her, and I guess we should, do we know what kind of ID she used? We must.
It's been her social.
I'm sorry?
It's been the last four of her social on the
Oh,
registration cards.
Well, can we do a-
I would say proof of birth date is what we need.
a
And there are
birth certificate?
various forms that could take.
Yeah. If she produced a driver's license, would the birth date on the driver's license be sufficient for us?
I think, well, I mean, I think it would be for me.
By us, I mean the board.
Well, and I can't speak for the board, I was just telling you. How about you?
Yes.
Ray?
I'm not sure. But
I
guess
want you to
if-
commit yourself one way or another.
Isn't there a best evidence rule anymore?
This is not a court of law.
Sure, it'd be fine.
I suppose, I don't know how you draft the subpoenas, but if she could be given the option to produce a birth certificate, a driver's license, or a social security card,
Yeah.
and a social security card, because
Like-
we want to confirm birth date.
I'd like to consult the Assistant Prosecutor on that. What we really need is any of a few acceptable forms of proof of birth date. How should we word a subpoena for that?
Yes.
I mean, I would look into it, and I'll just, if you guys need help drafting the subpoena, I can do it, and then I'll figure out what various forms of ID that she needs, whether it's 2 forms of ID or just 1.
Oh, I don't think we need more than one.
Okay.
I wasn't asking what forms she needs. I was really asking whether it would be sufficient to word the subpoena in terms of documentary proof of birth date, or whether we need to be more specific than that and list the alternatives.
I think I would be specific and ask exactly what you're
All right.
wanting her to bring in.
So a driver's license, a birth certificate, a passport. Help me out here, guys. What else? Ray? Any other?
Sorry. I'm sorry.
A driver's license, birth certificate, passport. Can you think of other acceptable forms of proof of birth date?
No, you would think they'd have one of those.
Yeah. Well, or official state ID would be another.
Well, yeah.
This was flagged into the state's process.
No, we ended up finding this through a registration drive when she filled out another card. The birth date all of a sudden didn't match what was in the system, so one of our front office registration people went through her records and realized that she's been putting, I believe it was 06 previously, when now she's putting 08 for her birth date.
Okay, so we don't have any red flags on the veracity of her social security number that we have on file, so,
Currently not.
okay, so we don't need anything on that. I got you.
No, it's just birth date. So I would list the, how about staff consults you before sending the subpoena and
Yes, that's
take,
fine.
take a look at it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, but any of those three forms would be acceptable for driver's license, official state ID, birth certificate, passport. Okay?
All right.
Summing it up as legal proof of birth date?
Pardon?
Would summing it up as legal proof of birth date suffice for the
That's what I was
transfer?
asking the assistant prosecutor.
I think any of those forms she should be able to bring in and it'll be fine.
Yeah, the question that both I and now Pete just asked was whether, well, I think you've already answered it. We need to list the alternatives. So we'll do that. All right. So the motion was to set this for a hearing and to subpoena both Ms. Patterson and the aforementioned documentary proofs of date of birth. And I think there was a second, right? Any further debate on the motion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. The motion is adopted without dissent. Next.
All right, I believe the one behind that you guys would have is a Hattie Howard.
Yes.
We just received a registration card from her April 30th. But if you go through the documents, you'll see she's been passed away since 2023, according to the Steve report we have, which comes from the Secretary of State. I could not find an obituary or an announcement anywhere, but I did happen to find a GoFundMe for her that mentions her passing in there.
I don't think this qualifies as best evidence, but
She's also not in the BMV. We could not find her using her license at all. So taking the advice you gave us last time, we reached out to the individual. The phone number provided is completely disconnected. So I'm not sure if it's actually her and the Steve report was wrong. Because if you look at the signatures aren't terribly off. All the information, the ID, the birth date, all matched. The only slight difference between her provisional she did in 2018 and the one she might have done in April this year is that she moved from 4486 Kent Road to 4488 Kent Road.
What is 4488 Kent Road and 4486? I see one has a unit number of 141.
They're
that
both in that same area of Kent. It's just two separate buildings.
apartments?
Yes.
Well, what we
I'm
have
going to
here
need a
is,
magnifying glass to read the Steve report.
Yes, you
My
do.
reading glasses are not sufficient.
She's the third one from the top.
Yeah, okay. So, now, the
So when you're
columns don't have headings.
No, this is how you get it. The top left hand side, the left hand side where it mentions her name the first time is what the state has, and on the right hand side, the state matches it up to someone in our system, so that one on the right hand side is who they think it is, and everything matched perfectly besides the address. But typically that doesn't matter if the name, ID, and birthday all match, which in
Right.
this case it did.
So the ID and birth date match.
Correct.
and when you called this person,
And the phone is completely disconnected.
and there's no phone on the document from, it's an old document you use for a phone number. It's not the April voting, is it?
No, I got it from the April.
So there was a paid, a person who was doing the registration, or assisting with the registration, I think that may be the person I'm interested in talking to, given that it appears impossible to talk to Ms. Howard.
I think we need to set it for a hearing and subpoena this person who appears to have voted in, well, this is a voter registration update.
Yeah,
They
it's a
didn't
voter,
vote.
no.
One more thing I could point out too is the GoFundMe was started in 2023. That's the same time frame that the individual passed away according to the Steve report. So those match up.
So there was no voting activity.
No, there's been no activity from her
No-
since
no posthumous
2023
voting activity.
until this came in.
Right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this looks like somebody was trying to register a dead person.
And it didn't print off right because printing off a GoFundMe is hard on our systems, but her employer was one of the top donors on her GoFundMe. So I think it adds a little bit more legitimacy to it.
The phone number on line 7 is pretty hard to discern. Those 3 middle numbers look
I
like,
tried 3 different phone numbers.
so you tried a variety of,
2 people answered, didn't know who this was, and the third one was disconnected.
Did anybody drive by apartment 141, that address on Kent Road?
Drive by? No.
Well, then I was going to ask if you stopped and knocked on the door.
No, that would creep them out a little bit.
Okay.
Does the Steve report tell us the county of death?
Yeah, so the first address
Summit, yeah,
is
it's Summit.
the,
right?
yeah, so it was on Treetop and Summit.
So we could get a death certificate, correct?
Request a death certificate.
Yeah, why don't we do that? But in any event, I mean, I think the likelihood is there will be a death certificate. So the signatures, let's look at the signatures.
who is the paid, can we read and discern who the paid registrar was?
I think it's Dionre or an A, and the last name is Beasley.
It's Massillon Avenue in Summit County?
What's that?
Mallison, yes, that's in Akron.
Massillon Avenue is in Summit County and
No, it's not Massillon.
Mallison,
Mallison. Is that a real street?
yes.
And is there someone to register to vote there with a name that looks like it could be this one?
Did not look that up.
And the status of this registration currently is what?
Deceased.
So it's a canceled voter.
Yeah, I didn't want to put this one in.
So this
With
is
everything I
pending.
found.
This application's
Correct.
essentially pending.
Yeah, well, I mean, this seems highly dubious. I would, can somebody look up, I think it's 683 Mallison. Does it look that way to you? Or it could be 663, but
I looked it up. It's a house.
is there anybody registered there?
Oh, I'm not sure.
I'm not asking you to say the name out loud, but,
I think
I'm not sure.
Cheryl's going out the check.
okay.
This is the organizing company. Basically, it's a voter drive, and when voter drives.
Yeah, I got it here. It's Diona LaShawn Beasley, 683
That's
Mallison
it.
Avenue.
That's it. I think that person we need to talk to. We need to check for a death certificate. I strongly suspect you will find
They
one.
did, may be,
Yeah.
because it is saying address of his sister, name of the employer.
So why don't we do it this way? Why don't we set this for a hearing contingent on there being a death certificate? So you check, see if there's a death certificate. If there isn't one, then get back to us. But if there is one,
Yeah, we
why
found
don't we just go ahead and
You can do it from your phone.
set this for a hearing and subpoena, what was the name?
Diona Beasley.
Diana Beasley, to appear. That acceptable?
Yeah. So moved.
Any debate on the motion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. The motion is adopted without dissent. So check for the death certificate. If there is one, go ahead and issue the subpoena, schedule the hearing. And if there isn't one, then just bring it back to us in the next meeting.
All right. I got one more for you.
Okay, these are fun.
Yeah, this one's similar to the Cassandra Patterson. This is Ashley Singleton. In 2022, she registered using the birth year of 2000. In 2024, she registered with the birth year of 2006. And then we got one from her on the 27th of May with the same birth year of 06. So, and the social's been different on every single one of them so far. The birth month and birth day has stayed consistent. The phone number stayed consistent. And the address has flip-flopped between one street to another. She is currently in a BMV mismatch for all four with the yellow-red status. If she was born in 2000, this wouldn't be a problem. But if she was born in 2006, she would have registered at 16 in 2022. She has no voting history and no petition signings. We did the same thing. We called her. She didn't answer. She did have voicemail, so we've left her 2 voicemails so far with no return call.
All right, so the first registration was when?
Her first one would have been in 2022 with the birth year of 2000.
Okay, I got that. The second one,
Was 2024 with the birth year of 2006.
and then the third one,
Was the end of May with the birth year of 2026. And it's a pretty clear 0-0 on that
you
first.
didn't mean 2026.
What's that?
You said a birth year of 2026.
Oh,
but
birth
I'm sure
year
you didn't mean
06.
that. Okay. So the second 2 are consistent except for the social security number?
Yeah, the Social Security's different on all 3.
Oh, very different.
Yeah, not even close.
640.
Is voter contact organizing the name of a organization, a company?
Yeah, and they're the ones who also did the Hattie
I saw
Howard
that.
one. And they're also the same ones that did the Cassandra Patterson one.
And then in there's also a Field Forward, Ohio. on
Yeah,
Patterson.
currently we've got 3 that have been coming in weekly to drop off registration cards.
They may be helpful in identifying their employees as a part of our subpoena.
Well, I don't think we really have an issue concerning
Field forward.
the person who was going around collecting registrations on this one. We do on the other one, but the signatures look consistent, right? Oh, no, wait a minute. Now, the most recent one is printed,
Her original one was printed too.
right, but the one in the middle looks like initials and script.
Yeah, all
Or no,
three of
well,
hers
no.
were done through registration drives.
Finish the signature.
You're right. Looks like it got interrupted.
She adopted a mark.
But it looks like the same person is filling it out. So, I mean, I think the issue here is just the same as on the first one, which is if her year of birth is actually the one that was stated on the second two registrations, then she was underage when she registered the first time. So I think we need to treat this one the same way we treated the first one, which is to set a hearing, subpoena her, and an acceptable form of proof of date of birth. Right?
So moved.
Any debate on the motion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. The motion is adopted without dissent.
All right, I'm finally done.
Thank you.
Okay, and we have Vince and Crystal here to present a issue with a provisional.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon. We have an individual that has a regular check-in and also a provisional ballot. We, however, do not believe this person voted twice. It is our contention that somebody was checked in under the wrong name, issued a ballot, voted, and the actual person came in afterwards. They looked her up and said, "You've already voted," and then was given a provisional, and that was counted. So
And what makes you think that that's what happened?
the difference in the signatures, primarily,
I did
Which we
create
have
a
presented
sheet
there
of her
for you, yeah.
consistent signatures versus the first check-in. So she always has a loop.
The microphone.
She always has a loop in her signatures, and this has been consistent since 2021. Whoever first was checked in, they looked the person up manually, and when they signed, it almost looks like a bunch of mountains. There's no loop, which is inconsistent with this voter's normal signature, both on paper and digitally.
Do we have any way of figuring out who the other? Can't hear you.
It's the very last item in the middle folder.
Right. Certainly does look different. We don't have any way of figuring out who signed the mountains.
We were
we,
trying to look.
we can only make a strong assumption as to who the original voter is. There is another resident at 7524 Crown Point Drive. Now, they don't, initially, they appear to have different last names, but if you look closer, Miss Priscilla Nicolati, her name was hyphenated with Gemberling. It was Gemberling Nicolodi for a while, and Gemberling is the other resident of 7524 Crown Point Drive. So, but we don't have definitive proof that that was the individual.
Does Gemberling's signature look like that?
I would say no.
you know, so,
However, with a manual search, what happens is multiple people with the first four numbers of the address and even just the first letter of the last name will pop up as options, and an inexperienced poll worker could have picked anyone on the list with 7524 as the numbers in their address. So we did go through a lot of signatures, but it could really be anyone in the precinct. We
Our
just-
system does not allow us to match a signature through the database, does it?
No.
you mean the electronic poll book database?
Well,
Is
that's
it-
election day. I mean, right now. Can we search our 380,000 registered voters for this signature and get a
I'm
AI match?
not sure if we can do that.
And if we can, I would like to know
I would bet a lot
how.
of money that we can't.
I don't think we can
That would be great.
So. Yeah, the initial check-in was done manually, which meant they looked her up by some other method than ID.
Right.
Maybe she had a passport or military ID or something of that sort.
However, when she was checked in the next time, it is on the memo sheet. They even called here. They told her, the e-poll book says you voted. She's like, but I didn't vote. They called here, and ended up issuing her the provisional. She was probably wondering who voted in her stead, but no driver's license was scanned at all with the first check-in. So we really have no way of knowing definitively who it was. However, it looks like she was telling the truth because the signature does not match
Right.
what she would normally provide us with. I did spend about an hour and a half going through signatures of everyone on that street. And I mean, if we wanted to get into that, I could keep going, but right now, yeah, it's pretty much you open the street or the precinct and you can one at a time look at signatures. It makes you miss the old paper poll books where you can just,
What time did these two voters present to vote?
They weren't too far apart, I
At all.
believe. These, let's see what we
One's
got here.
4:48,
4:55 and
the first check-in is, this is,
4:45 and 5:19, 4:48 PM and 5:19 PM.
pretty much within a half an hour.
What was the disposition of this provisional ballot?
Counted it.
It was voted.
And we count, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think you're very probably right about what happened. And
Where's the polling location?
Hope Community Chapel, Hope Community Church, Hope Community Chapel,
Community church.
Hope Community, yeah, Church Chapel.
yeah, I mean, I think it looks like it was just a poll worker error that, and they were both entitled to vote. One ended up voting, they were both entitled to vote regular ballots, probably. One ended up voting a provisional ballot, but it was counted. So I think we're,
The first one was a manual lookup?
Yes.
So if they had just put in a couple letters of her, or no, excuse me, numbers of her address, it may have pulled up several
When you're
several
manual-
voters, and then they just tapped the wrong one and proceeded from there.
Why would a person have a manual lookup?
Well, they may have a passport or a military ID or another form of ID that isn't a driver's license.
Or they may just
or
have not
a
had
driver's
ID.
license or state ID that is
State ID,
degraded
yeah.
and can't be scanned.
So the person that came in at 5 o'clock, did they have a manual lookup?
No. The person who was issued the provisional had her driver's license. We know for sure it was her, because they scanned the driver's
In-
license to look her up.
So this does,
I mean,
I've for a while had a reservation about the way that we instruct the PEOs about manual lookups. Because we tell them just to put in the first three letters And I realize that saves time, but it does increase the risk of this kind of an error.
I think the biggest thing is to remind the poll workers to verify the person's date of birth or another like really good identifier. Like
Yeah.
don't just tap what's on the screen because sometimes you're given like 8 options.
Right.
You know, and if you tap the wrong one, so I would say while you're looking at that screen, find an identifier, you know, ask the voter in front of you their date of birth. Or their street address while you're looking so that you are making sure. And then once you pull them up, verify. So this is your birthday once you're on just one person. So just some type of verification because with a manual lookup, they are given a lot of options. I could see that people
Yeah.
could tap the wrong person.
Normally, this type of error occurs when 2 people with the same name live at the same address.
Yeah.
So that's usually when you would see this type of error.
Yeah, although in this case,
So,
Yeah.
well, yeah.
but yeah. So, Pete, I want to revisit this when we are revising the PEO manual for the fall.
Of course, it also may be the other, just someone trying to vote twice,
It could be, we don't know.
but
Seems
Unlikely.
very
seems
unlikely.
unlikely.
If it wasn't the manual lookup, that's what really got me going on. You know, this was a manual lookup. They could have opened all the options and tapped the wrong person. So
Right. All right, well, I don't, other than revisiting the instructions that we give to the PEOs, I don't think there's anything that we need to do on this. I think in all probability, the outcome was the right one. Just was not how we'd like to get there.
Yeah, without any video at that location, we're not going to be able to drill down, without being able to search the signature that was provided, and with the notes that we have in the book, you know, it's 20 minutes, and the recollection of, you know, in the old days with one person, you know, that had to remember. Now you've got 4 or 5, 2, 3, 4.
Well, how many
poll books.
precincts at this location?
I believe there were 2.
2.
But they don't remember, the notes don't indicate that they're certain it's a different person, but
It
And I
would
guess-
appear by the signature and the fact that she talked to the poll workers and told them I didn't, was okay with them calling here to try, you know, it really seems like,
Yeah,
you know, she knew she hadn't voted. But when you say the old days, once somebody wrote their name in that box, no one else was going to write their name there too.
yeah. I mean, I think it's exceedingly unlikely this is the same person trying to vote twice.
I think it's
This is just a mistake.
very unlikely.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. And then one other bit of other business. We have 3 meetings scheduled for the rest of this month on the 10th, 16th, and 30th that mostly concern items surrounding a potential August special. Well, there is no August special, and we would ask that those 3 meetings be canceled.
Anyone have any objection to that? Go ahead and cancel.
Thank you.
Is that it?
In other business, yes.
Any personnel items?
yes.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, we have 2 motions to fill vacancies. First one, I'd move to hire Joseph Moore to the position of Election Professional 1, effective June 5th, 2026, at a salary of $55,702.40.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any debate on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The motion is adopted without dissent. I expect there'll be another motion.
We're checking to see if he's willing to serve.
Yes, sorry about that. He said yes. I'll move also to hire Daphne Sturkey to the position of Election Professional 3, effective June 5th, 2026, at a salary of $70,742.05, with the hourly rate being retroactive to May 6, 2026.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any debate on the motion? I will just say, good choice.
She performed that position well during the provisional period anyway, and we're confident she knows the job.
My only regret is that she's extremely valuable in the PEOC
Right.
department. And I hate to lose her from there, but, oh well. All in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion is adopted without dissent. I think that concludes the personnel items. We have reached the end of the agenda. Is there any objection to adjournment? Hearing none, I declare the meeting adjourned.
Excellent.
Just a couple of quick reminders. Each of the board members should have received an email from the Secretary of State about the noted board training. You have plenty of time to complete it. That's just the first reminder on that. See you at conference.
Thank you.
All righty.
Yeah, so I heard.
DC, I'll be taking my training in Richfield.